All right, how's it going, everyone? Thank you for joining the webinar today. Today, we're going to be really focusing on marketing support and what Access4 can do to support all of our partners. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to wrap this up for everyone in about 30 minutes, including some question and answers. So, if you guys have spoken with me about marketing before, I tend to talk way too long. So I'm going to try and control myself and really just get into all the important stuff for you. And really today, I hope to be able to first, I guess, inspire you around the type of support that we can provide, but also, make sure that you have a really good idea of what are the sort of very explicit programs that we can help turn on for you to help you generate more pipeline with voice and UCaaS. So before we get into it, we will have some question and answers at the end. So if you do have questions, please drop them into the Q&A function at the bottom of the Zoom there, not in the chat. The Q&A function is always a better place to drop them into. So let's jump into it. I just want to start off by really setting the scene and just kind of reiterate something that I'm always telling our partners, and that as a channel-only business, at the end of the day, we're only winning when you're winning. And we see marketing as a key pillar of support in terms of how we can provide extra services and support to our partners, along with what we do with investments into product, platform, sales support, and everything else. The easier that we can make it for you to get the right message out to your customers at the right time and have more conversations and build more pipeline, the better it is. So we're really focused on enabling you to win more often. So in terms of a snapshot of our overall marketing program, I'll just run into it now and then delve into a bit more of the details later on in this presentation. So one of the first areas of how we can provide support is with our campaigns in a box. So these are a variety of different pre-packaged campaigns full of content to power up your own communications. So each campaign that we have is full of long-form content assets. We've got social media posts and banners, EDM sequences and banners, and so on. And these are on a variety of different topics to help you sell and communicate and educate your customers. The next part is all about end user events. So first with webinars, we can help to run more thought leadership and solution focused webinars for your end customers to help support lead generation. And we can also do the same sort of thing, but in person as well. Similar to this when it comes to end user events is that we also get involved a lot in helping to co-sponsor various industry or vertical events that you may already be investing in to help support your lead generation on that front. Otherwise, there's also other custom promotions that we can look at. So if you have a specific problem that you're looking to overcome from a customer perspective, or if you think there's a special kind of incentive that we can put into place, either for your sales team, either for your customers, we can look at enacting one of those strategies as well. And otherwise, custom requests, as I said, harkening back to what I said before around being in it for you guys to make sure that you guys are winning, we're always open to having conversation about any custom requests or unique activities that you might be putting into play. And I'll talk a bit about that later on in this presentation today. So first, let me just jump into campaigns in a box. So just a bit of a background. So we really put this program together about a year or so ago based on feedback from a lot of our partners that what they were looking for was more content to help fuel their top of the funnel activity, to help nurture and educate their customers about various issues relating to voice and UC. So what we sort of did then is put into place these campaigns in a box. So to date, we've created about 10 of these different campaigns. And each campaign, as I referred to before, is packed full of content. Each one has a long form blog posts. We've got EDM sequences, social media posts, all with different banners that you can help co-brand. And on a variety of different topics, so relating to collaboration, to cloud communications for your customers who might be either new to voice or if you're new to selling voice, all the way into topics such as voice continuity. So talking about the security aspects in relation to voice for your customers who might be more security minded, to issues around hybrid working, to specific product related campaigns in a box such as MS Teams, and even some of your more niche plays such as running PBX replacement campaigns. So we have a campaign specifically for that one. But at the end of the day, what we want to do with all of these campaigns is to give you a lot of content, give you a lot of ammunition that you can fire out however you sort of want to your customers, depending on what you want to talk with them at any given point. So it's like, as I sort of mentioned, we're not here to pitch product. It's about talking about the topics and the issues that your customers and businesses are either facing right now or will be facing in the future. So, and when I say that this is open source content, I mean that we provide all of this content open in Word documents with various image files that you can sort of take and adapt and use as you sort of want. We don't provide a very, super strict sort of format saying you have to use this content with this specific wording, because we know that the hardest part about creating content is creating something from scratch. So what we want to do is give you a lot of content and allow you to sort of take that, adapt it, and plug it into your own communications as you go along. So otherwise, where we sort of also sort of help is making sure that we craft the right call to action with these campaigns that you might be pushing out. So it's always important that when you are pushing out these campaigns and pushing out these communications, that you have a very tight call to action at the end of it that's inciting your customer to take a next step. So running content for awareness and education is great, but what we ultimately want to do here is get them to consume the content and then get them to do something that helps them to move them down the sales funnel. So one of the things that we commonly recommend, and which is already packaged with a lot of our campaigns in a box, is having a call to action around a telephony health check. So that's where the call to action is, hey, send us a copy of your latest phone bill, and then we'll be able to come back with you with a bit of a telephony health check on your current environment and setup and how we might be able to improve it. So you're positioning value to the customers, but in the end, what you're getting back from it is a sales conversation, a sales meeting, and just more touch points with your customers to hopefully then be able to push them further down the sales cycle and either get a new sale, upsell them into something different, whatever it might be. So we always find that it's incredibly important to position that call to action, and this health check is something that we think is readily available for you to use. A lot of the campaigns in a box that we have for you to access has a flyer in there as well, which has a few more questions specifically for yourselves as a reseller that you could help ask your customers to help gather enough information along with the phone bill to be able to then go back and position a bit of a health check with the customer and provide them that value up front, and then enable you to follow up from there from a sales perspective. So best of all, really, all of these campaigns in a box are in our PRC right now, available for you to download. So if you head into our PRC, into the resources section, then marketing campaigns, you'll find a section in there called campaigns in a box. And each campaign that we have available is there in a zip file ready for you to download. And when you download them, you'll have access to everything, all the Word docs, all the banners, all the social posts, and you can jump into that and use that content as you need to right away. So next, I'll talk a bit about end user events and how we can support on that sort of on that front. So the first I'll sort of say is that campaigns in a box are really good around building more awareness, educating your customers, and creating a good amount of demand. If you package it well with the right call to action and the right follows up, the idea is that you can also knock out a bunch of immediate opportunities as well. But we find that end user events it's a really good next step after you've ran some campaigns in a box, because they really act as a good mechanism to capture a lot of the leads or capture a lot of the attention you might have generated based on running a lot of the campaign in a box content. So starting with one of the first sort of formats is webinars. So ultimately, where we see webinars effective, and we run quite a lot of these, is helping you to generate leads. As I said, there's going to be demand out there already. You're able to generate demand via our campaigns in a box, or you might just be capturing white space opportunity in the base that you have. But at the end of the day, anyone who registers to a webinar, anyone who definitely attends, they're going to either have some sort of a problem, or they know that the issue that you're talking about is something that they're going to face as a business, or they want to learn more. So there's a conversation to be had there. So a webinar is a great mechanism to educate them on that, and then also get you that warm sort of follow-up that you can jump on afterwards. And we make webinars as easy as possible for our partners in terms of how we support. So we can provide a presenter, we provide the presentation deck as well, and we can even spin up a registration landing page on our webinar platform as well, which means all you have to do is help to carve out the audience or the prospects you want to target, and then funnel them towards that registration page and build up the necessary base that we'd be looking for in that. The next step then is in-person, offline events, and they're essentially similar sort of process and similar sort of outcome for the webinars, but it's all in person. So we sort of see in-person events, offline events, really perfect for when you have a local geographical clusters of customers that you're able to engage locally and at a central in-person venue. So we regularly fly people around Australia and New Zealand to speak at various partner events that we help put on. Along with everything that I said before around presenters, providing the deck, all that sort of stuff, we will, if there's the right opportunity and we see that there's market to go after, we will also fly people around, get them to come to the local market that you're operating in to put on and to speak at these sort of events. In terms of MDF as well, when it comes to these events, because if it's in-person events, there's typically costs associated with venues, with catering, whatever else it might be. We also can have the conversation about how can we co-fund some of these costs, so that what we sort of look at is an event where we've both got skin in the game, we both understand what the opportunity is, and we're both going to go at it together and win it together. So I would say about events as well that overall, harder to get bums and seats when it comes to in-person events, but we do see higher conversion rates and better traction after these events, because the in-person connections are ultimately still the most powerful. And finally, just about co-sponsorship. So if you have a go-to-market motion where you're going to various industry or vertically aligned events and you're sponsoring them to, say, set up a trade booth, to build awareness, generate some leads and so on, come and have a chat with us, because one way that we leverage MDF or marketing development funds is to helping to co-sponsor these events. So not only can we help to financially offset some of that cost of a sponsorship, we can also look at sending merchandise to help pack out your booth a bit more. But one thing that a lot of our partners also benefit from is actually having one of our account managers or another one of our relevant staff members to help man the booth as well, and help you to co-sell and engage directly with the end users who might be at that event. So we also have a lot of experience getting the most out of these events in terms of advising on how are you collecting leads, how are you following up on these leads, what are the best practices around setting up your booth and whatnot. So we're always more than happy to have conversations about how we can get involved in these events, especially if it's sponsoring these sort of events might be new to you as a business. Not only can we help from the financial side, but the planning and strategy side, there's also a lot of value that we can provide on that front as well. So otherwise, custom promotions or requests. So as I sort of said, right, we want to align with how you go to market. So if something doesn't squarely fit into anything I've spoken about, come and have a chat with us, right? Is it a free porting offer that we think we might have to put together for a specific segment of your customers? Is it 1 month free? Is there an incentive we can put in place for your sales team, for example? Whatever it might be. If you see either a hurdle from a customer perspective that you think we can overcome with a specific type of promotion, request, whatever else it might be, come and let us know. Come and have a chat with us because, as I sort of said before, we're only winning when you're winning. So we're very, very open to have all of these different conversations to understand what are the challenges that you're seeing and what are some of the levers that we might be able to pull from a marketing perspective to help you win more. So setting the right expectations, just to run through a few things. The way we measure success when we look at MDF investment is really on a one-on-one basis. And we try and keep this as straightforward as possible for our partners. So we all have an easy North Star that we're all oriented to when it comes to following up on success. So say, for example, we invest $2,000 into a co-sponsorship of an event. The way we look at that is in the following 6 months, are we able to generate that same amount of investment on an MRR basis? So if we invest $2,000 of a lump sum of MDF into this event, over the following 6 months, we would like to see $2,000 of MRR generated attributed to that event. And that's how we look at the measure of success for really all of our activities. And we think that's been a straightforward way for everyone to sort of understand. And it's also been quite achievable as well, because we also understand that sometimes sales cycles take number of weeks, number of months, then you have porting to get all this revenue on as well. So we want to make sure that when we think about measurement of success, there's a large enough attribution window and a realistic number for us all to go after. So we keep this very simple in a tracking perspective as well. It's all done via SaaS opportunity registration. So for any single activity that we put together on this front, we would provide you a custom campaign code. So every time you register a new deal in SaaS under the opportunity section, you add in that campaign code at the same time, and then that all allows us to centrally track that code, and we can sort of track the success and the pipeline of it together in the following months. In terms of what we expect for you, when we run any of these sort of activities, the main thing for us is engagement and transparency. So transparency on what the success has been. Has it been a winner? Did it not quite hit the mark? Like if we run some of these activities and we don't quite create the amount of pipeline or new revenue that we expect, that's okay. As long as we're all being transparent, we're learning something. And so we can do either take a different approach next time or whatever else it might be. But engagement is also important because a lot of the marketing support that we can put into effect does require, sales cadence and a direct sales follow-up afterwards. So if you're running campaigns, if you're running end user events or webinars, the key to all this sort of success is making sure that you're not just pushing some things out and crossing your fingers and hoping the customer will get back to you. It's about proactively then following up with all of your customers, prospects, any engagement off the back of these campaigns. So that's always something that we sort of stress. Because it's really key to getting the most out of all of the awareness and all of the momentum we can create on a marketing front. Otherwise, what else? So that's not the end of it. And one of the things I really wanted to talk about today as well is what's new and what's a new program that we're putting into place. So I'd like to announce really a new program to help you reach your marketing goals, something that we're just putting into play now, which I hope everyone will be interested in. And that is a white space marketing campaign support program. So we're always sort of looking for new ways that we can support our partners. And we, from a marketing and sales perspective, we're having a lot of conversations every single week about what's working, what's not, what's generating the most momentum and so forth. And one thing that we've found is that at the end of the day, so many of our partners have a white space opportunity, right? Voice and UCaaS is essentially a cross-sell play for them. So you have a white space opportunity, you're ready to start firing. But one thing we sort of see quite a bit is that some partners may either lack the marketing and campaign resources to really kick off a campaign, or they simply just don't have the required bandwidth, or those resources might be pointed elsewhere in the business right now. So what we've developed is a new program where we'll be able to leverage MDF funds and to essentially co-fund a 3-month marketing campaign, which would be led and executed by a third-party marketing agency. So to go into a bit more of the what and why of this is that ultimately it's all around leveraging white space. So it's 5 to 7 times cheaper to retain and sell to your existing customers than it is to go out there and find new customers. So if you have a large proportion of your customer base not currently consuming Access4 products, let's go after them first. And with this program, we can provide dedicated support and campaign services by an agency partner, someone who can push out the campaign, push out the content, help to customize it all for you, and then report back on it. And with proven campaigns. So we have a body of content that we can use and execute on, that we can customize for your specific business and the way you go forward with it, as well as the sort of in the trenches tactics that the agency can pull off as well. So ultimately, it's really giving you a almost like a teaser to what a longer term retainer might be about with an agency, instead condensed into a very affordable 3-month program. So it's a low cost of entry to really give you a bit of a kickstart. And as I sort of said, it's really designed for those either without dedicated marketing resources or resources who might be spread a bit thin or focused elsewhere, giving you that sort of extra arm and extra support to help you tap into your white space opportunity, which is very direct. It's there right in front of you based on the data that you have, and it's with the tools that you're already using. And at the end of the day, it's a way to access MDF from us, which has significant sort of upside. So with this sort of program, it's a co-funded program where the partner would be investing. We match that investment amount from an MDF perspective, and the agency partner who we're working with on this is also coming to the table to provide rates that are well below the market average to make sure that we can essentially package up this campaign, this new program for you, to get started over this 3-month period and to really dial in and focus on that white space opportunity and then build more pipeline. We also include at the start of it a free assessment, what we're sort of calling a marketing maturity assessment, which really looks to map out what is the opportunity within your base, what is the marketing infrastructure that you currently have set up, and ultimately, are you ready to actually get started on this journey, right? So if you've got all your customers in a single place, you've got the right marketing tools ready to go, and you just need support on building out the content, building out the templates, pushing it out the door and everything, then we're ready to go. But this assessment is really about making sure all the parties are coming together and sort of saying, yes, we're going to be successful because we have all the different pieces that we need lined up and ready to go. So just a quick snapshot of what this program sort of looks like. So as I said, the first phase is a marketing maturity assessment where we're sort of validating you have everything ready to go. There's the opportunity there. You have the white space that's been sized up and validated, and we're ready to go and get it. And then we get into the phase 2, which is all about execution. So working together with our agency partner, we're looking at 3 campaigns during the course of that 3-month period, choosing the right topic, the right kind of content, customizing it appropriately, and then rolling it out. Managing all of the content marketing, the outreach to your customers, targeting with the right call to action, and then generating the necessary reporting so you can see who's engaging and who needs to be followed up with. We also make sure to include a meeting maker program in there. And what that's all about is what is either the promo, the incentive, maybe the corporate gift that's actually going to get a customer to want to have a meeting with you. And that might be the telephony health check. It might be a specific type of promo. But what is the asset? What is the activity that we can put together to actually get you meetings? Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. Activity leads into meetings, leads into pipeline, and then we get into opportunities and we get into new revenue. And that's what we're all in it for together. So when we look at the investment, this is a co-funded program, as I mentioned before, where the partner would be investing $5,560 for this 3-month program. We match that from an MDF perspective, but that also then ultimately gives you access to a program that's typically priced up to be $16,700. So as I sort of said, like this is an amount that you would typically look to be investing when it comes to a longer term marketing retainer with an agency. What we wanted to do with this program is to condense that all down into a 3-month program for a very sharp price to really get you started on this journey. And when it's targeted to your white space, it's targeted to the customers you're already working with. We think there's a direct and efficient way for us to build more pipeline together and create some wins in the first 3 months. Because in summary, as I sort of said, we want you to take advantage of that white space opportunity by providing you the right agency resources to quickly and efficiently, with the best practice, run these campaigns to your customers. Because eventually we want to move on to a phase 3, right? You've gone through all your white space, you've got full penetration within your customer base, and then it's time to think about new logo acquisition. And once you've got your marketing machine up and running, once you've seen some wins with co-partnering with an agency, we then have a lot more information and experience about what works, and we can start thinking about how do we take a lot of those lessons and key learnings and turn it into new logo acquisition. So that's really the core part of the content today that I wanted to go through. So now it's all about how do we get started. So really there's 2 immediate ways. You can contact us at marketing@access4.com.au. That's a direct line to our marketing team, and we're always happy to receive any inquiries, get back to you right away, set up a meetings and talk about what we can do. Or you can speak with your account manager. So they're all across everything that we can do and provide. They can make sure that everything's looped in with how you currently go to market. And we could all come together and talk about, what are the current opportunities that you see and how can these different parts of our marketing support program best align with your business. All right, so I almost managed to get us through 30 minutes. We're now almost right on the dot, but I'm happy to take any questions right now as well. So as sort of mentioned before, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of the chat there. If you have any questions now, whatever it might be around the marketing program, the white space marketing campaign that's mentioned before, we're happy to answer any questions. So we do have one question in there already. So do you choose or have approved agencies for the white space campaign, or do we need to find one? So we already have a agency partner that we've already lined up for this program. So to make the cost dynamics of this programs work, we needed a partner that has experience working with MSPs, has experience working with us, and is able to understand what the opportunities are, so they could come to the table to sort of be able to see, okay, 3-month program, let's run this, get a lot of success, so that then we can build on it further into the future. So we already are working with an agency called Tech Tent, who's contributing to this program with us. All right. I think that might be the only question for now. I might hang on a bit longer just to see if any more questions come through. I'd also like to say I'm also happy to speak with anyone at any point about either general marketing issues, advisories, not necessarily directly into relation to how Access4 can support you. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at any point. We can talk more there. We can directly connect and we can have a bit of a chat. I'm always open to that. I'm always happy to jump on a call. So I think we can wrap it up there. It looks like that's all the questions in the chat today. I'll make sure to send out this presentation deck and the recording to this to everyone later on today or tomorrow. Any follow-up questions, as I sort of said, please shout out. If not, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks, guys. See ya.